Now, since I know a lot of you are new, I want to take the first couple of seconds of my presentation to talk to you about what NutraMetrix is. You see, NutraMetrix is the division of Market America that's geared towards working with health professionals. Now, what is NutraMetrix? Well, we work with health professionals of all types, everything from acupuncturists, doctors, chiropractors, RNs, physical therapists, massage therapists. If they see patients and they're on our list of qualified health professionals, they can carry our product line. What does this do for them? Well, to a health professional, giving them the ability to carry our high-quality nutritional products and our wellness services allows the health professional to customize wellness programs and services to their patients while generating revenue for the practice. And I'm going to talk about why that's so important in a few minutes. But the program's not just for health professionals. The program's also for you, the Market America distributor that wants to be able to leverage the medical market, the health and nutrition market, by working with health professionals to generate additional BV for your organization. You see, we all work with our own customers, right? If we're following the Getting Started guide and we're following Base 10-7 Strong, we should be working with about 10 to 15 customers. But imagine if you had a distributor in your organization that was working with thousands of customers each and every week. You would want to be able to capitalize on that volume, correct? I'm going to show you why you want to add NutraMetrix Consultants and NutraMetrix Health Professionals to your business. So let's talk about the NutraMetrix mission. The NutraMetrix mission is to create a system for health professionals to generate ongoing income by offering high-quality products to their patients and helping their patients achieve optimal health. We do this with revolutionary technology, science-based nutritional interventions, and the power of people. That would be you. Now, NutraMetrix was created, the division was created in 2004. And I want to show you the growth, and we're going to talk about this for a second because I'm really excited about this. When NutraMetrix was created, it was started with a small group of pioneering health professionals who were already Market America distributors. They were health professionals that were using our products and services, but wanted to be able to have an exclusive label for their patients. And in that first year, we started in August of 2004, we ended the year with about 84 health professionals in the NutraMetrix program. You're going to meet one of the pioneers in a few minutes of that NutraMetrix program, but you'll notice that our growth has skyrocketed over the past 8 years. And I want to talk to you about that. When you see this, you'll see that in 2012, we're on track to hitting about $34 million in sales with the NutraMetrix program. Now, that is the sales of our health professionals purchasing NutraMetrix products and selling it to their patients, but here's something very interesting. When health professionals are exposed to our program through NutraMetrix, they don't just stop with NutraMetrix products. They end up selling additional products to their patients as well. So the health professional sales are expanding into other areas of Market America. What I want to hit on is so important to you with this 34 million is when we do competitive studies with other companies in our industry, other companies that target health professionals as their market, there are two major companies out there that have been around for about 50, 60 years that have a very significant chunk of the market. But after you look at those two that have been around for 50, 60 years and that's all that they do, there are 5 or 6 other companies that kind of lead the pack other than us. And they've been around 30 and 40 years. And you know how much they do in sales each year? 20 to 25 million. Think about that. There are all these other companies out there in our industry doing about 20 to 25 million in sales, and all they do is sell products to health professionals, and they've been doing it for 30 to 40 years. We're 8 years old. We've surpassed them in sales in 8 years. Something we're doing is working, right? You want to be able to capitalize on this momentum. You want to be able to take advantage of that. So how do you do it? We're going to talk about how you, the Market America distributor, can work with health professionals as a NutraMetrix consultant yourself, or can add NutraMetrix consultants to your business to take advantage of those sales numbers. And you can get that BV operating through flowing up through your organization. So let's talk about the market. Why would a health professional consider offering wellness programs and products and services like NutraMetrix in their practice? You know, we hear all the time about how the economy is changing and how we need healthcare reform. But I want you to understand why. Yes, the economy of healthcare has changed, and it's affected health professionals on a dramatic scale. Health professionals are reporting many factors like rising business costs, shrinking insurance reimbursements, and changing regulations as contributing to their financial challenges. This is forcing health professionals to seek out new programs to offer to their patients. So let's talk about some of the programs or some of the reasons why a health professional might need additional revenue in their practice. You don't need to just take this from my information. I'm going to share with you a couple of mainstream media articles that are talking about the fact that our doctors in our country are struggling. This article was posted in the Wall Street Journal in March of this year. The title of the article was, Why America's Doctors Are Struggling to Make Ends Meet. The whole article was about how this doctor is doing everything right. He's embracing everything that's supposed to be embraced in the new healthcare reform. He's moved to electronic medical records. He's offering wellness programs in his practice. He is trying to make ends meet because the way he used to do business isn't working for him anymore. But when we take a look at the snapshot of finances of his practice, which were posted right in the Wall Street Journal, the practice generates about $2.1 million in revenue a year, of which they get to profit $29,000. Yeah, I heard a what over there. That's pretty crazy. They're bringing in a ton of revenue, but the cost for them to do business has skyrocketed, and they're not keeping the revenue. Then CNN Money did an article just in June on the 27th that said doctors fear of going out of business. They said almost 20% of doctors in this country are afraid that their business will be out of business within the next year. And it's an uncertain time for them because with all the new changes in healthcare and the government regulations, they don't know where they're going to end up. So what's the solution for health professionals? What can they do? They can look to add new patients for their practice. They can try to work more hours, but many of them are already working an incredible amount of hours. They can open more practice locations, but with each location, what does that mean? That means more overhead, and they already have too much overhead. So what's the solution? Well, they may need to offer new services in the practice that they have already. And you're seeing doctors across the country do this. They're offering like laser hair removal. They're offering aesthetics programs. They're offering a lot of new programs and services because they need the additional revenue. And while all of that is happening, there's something else going on. There's a paradigm shift where more and more Americans are being exposed to the fact that natural health products can impact their health. The CDC reported last year in 2011 that over 50% of Americans already use supplements. They don't need to be sold on the need to take them. They're already buying them. But when they go into the drugstore, when they go into the vitamin wholesale stores, when they go into the Costco's of the world and they look to buy vitamins, they don't know what to take. Then the question becomes, who's giving them the advice on what they should take? Oftentimes, it is their own health professional that's saying, you need to be taking a vitamin D. We tested your vitamin D levels, they're low, you need to take a vitamin D. But usually the doctor then sends the patient to the pharmacy or the drugstore to go pick out what vitamin D they need to take. How do they know? The store clerk at that store does not know anything about that patient's medical history. They don't know anything about their genetic information. They don't know anything about their family background. So who's giving them advice? We think it should be the health professional. We want to know, is the person taking something that's going to help them, or is the person taking something that maybe they don't need? And this is where NutraMetrix comes in. Because if a patient, on the recommendation of their doctor, goes to the health food store or their grocery store, and they just pick any product off the shelf, they might pick it because of the pretty packaging. They might pick it because of the low cost. But when you look beyond the pretty packaging, there's some pretty information there. Here's some labels that I took screen captures of, some of the most popular brands on the market in the stores. One of them is Centrum. Everything that you see highlighted there is either a binder, a filler, a chemical dye, an artificial sweetener. They're things that you might not necessarily want in a health food product. How about this one? How many of you have seen that product before? How many of you have fed it to your children? Did you know that there's aspartame right there highlighted on the label? I don't know about you, but I don't want to feed my baby aspartame or my child aspartame in something that's disguising or masquerading as a wellness product for them. So this becomes interesting because NutraMetrix is in the perfect place at the perfect time. You see, when you combine these two facts together, the fact that health professionals are looking for additional services to offer to their patients, and their patients are looking for wellness-based products and advice from somebody that they trust, their health professional, that's exactly where we fit. We help health professionals generate additional revenue while providing the products that their patients are already looking for. How do we do this? Well, we train you on how to go out and work with health professionals. We have a whole training program for Market America distributors to get trained as NutraMetrix Consultants. And in that training program, we teach you how to approach health professionals, how to determine what their goals are, how to determine which products would be a good fit in their practice, and then how to create an implementation strategy for them. The implementation strategy is all about meeting their financial goals with retail profit. So let me show you the type of retail that a health professional can generate. If we look at a practice, a small practice that has about 5,000 patients, let's say it's an internal medicine practice, and we know that 65% of their patients want wellness options because we've surveyed them. And we look at the fact that we can say, let's make it a very conservative goal, 10% of the patients, even though we know 65% said they want products, let's say only 10% purchase them from that health professional. What type of revenue could we generate? Well, just like we do in Market America, we would sit down with the health professional, we would determine what their goal is, and then we would map out a plan to get there. We would map out an action plan, a daily action plan. If the goal of this health professional is to get 10% of their patients buying product, that means over the course of a year, we're gonna get 500 patients on product. Now, how do you get there? You don't just all of a sudden one day have 500 customers of the NutraMetrix products. But what we would do is by working with the NutraMetrix consultant is we would teach the health professional how to introduce the products to a handful of patients a day. All they would need to do to reach their goal is to introduce the products to 2.5 patients per day. 1, 2, maybe some days it'll be 1 patient, some days it'll be 3 patients, but on average about 2 patients per day. Then let's say we work to create a custom cocktail for them with some of their favorite products, a multivitamin, a calcium, and a B. When we get to that goal of getting 10% on board with purchasing those products, we would have about 500 patients purchasing, which would generate about $6,500 in retail profit. That's retail profit, not including commissions, $6,500 in retail profit for that practice, just on that simple cocktail. If we expanded and gave them a more advanced cocktail that had vitamin D, OPC3, the multi, the calcium, and the B, which would be a great optimal health regimen for them, and we get them 500 patients on board, now we're looking at about $15,000 in revenue. And we have health professionals in NutraMetrix that are doing in sales each and every month $20,000 to $25,000 in product sales. How would you like to have one of your distributors in your organization generating consistently each and every month $20,000 to $25,000 in product sales? Now, we have programs that would allow the health professional to expand into their existing referral network, like we do by working through word-of-mouth referrals, and they already operate in a referral world, right? They refer patients back and forth to each other all the time, so they already have a network of health professionals that they work with. But we also have created in NutraMetrix a program called the HP1 program, which allows health professionals to earn commissions even before they expand distribution. They can earn up to $78,000 in commissions on the implementation model in their practice based on the amount of volume that they're generating in product sales. Let's take a look at those same 2 product sales examples that I gave you a few minutes ago and translate it into BV. The first example that I gave you, the simple formulation, would generate about 14,000 BV per month from that one health professional. Would 14,000 BV a month coming up one of your legs make a difference in your business? Right? If we switch to the second example, now we're looking at over 30,000 BV a month being generated by one distributor in your organization. Now, some of you might be saying, I want more information on that. I want to see exactly how that works. We're going to show you the NutraMetrix business model at the breakout on Saturday night in detail, where we show you how we get those numbers, and we show you a couple of different examples about how a health professional can get there. So if you want more information on having 30,000 BV from one distributor come up your organization, you need to make sure that you come to the breakout on Saturday, because how would you like to have one health professional on your left and one health professional on your right generating that kind of income, right? That's in addition to your existing team. This is on top of Your Motives distributor is generating volume. Your Web Center distributor is generating volume. Your MA Capital Resources distributor is generating volume. This is additional volume that just feeds up through your entire organization. 100% of it flows through your organization. Now, not everybody can sponsor a health professional. It does require training because working with health professionals requires you to understand staff dynamics, requires you to understand the economy of healthcare. So we teach that in the NC training. And some of you might be thinking, but Brandy, I don't want to work with health professionals, or I already work full-time, or I'm focused on a different major. How do I incorporate that type of volume into my organization? You go recruit NCs who can work for health professionals for you. It's part of your NutraMetrix University, the Market America University. Every single one of you wants to have NCs on your team. Every single one of you wants to have NCs that you can benefit from that are out working with health professionals. Now, as I mentioned, I showed you the growth chart. I've showed you how our growth has grown exponentially each and every year. I want to talk to you briefly about why. We've released some great tools that help you build your business, like the HP1 program that I talked about. We launched the HP1 program right before convention last year. We're on the 1-year anniversary of the program. We have 1,200 HP1s in our system right now in just a year. That's on top of all of our regular health professionals that we were working with. The program makes it very exciting for health professionals to explore how NutraMetrix can be a benefit to their practice. We've developed some Facebook accountability groups for our existing NCs, weekly webinars that provide ongoing training for NCs at various levels. We have 4 to 5 webinars going on for our NutraMetrix consultants each and every week, as well as webinars for our health professionals to get trained on the products. All of this has contributed to increased sales. We have created a new training program called the HP Product and Implementation Training, where health professionals can come talk about how to use the products in clinical practice. And this is the part that you guys are all going to love the most right now. We've developed weekly prospecting webinars. We alternate. Every other week, they're for NCs, and every other week, they're for health professionals. Now, the ones for NCs, you can all plug your prospects into. Every single one of you in this room can plug into your prospects to learn how to recruit NCs for your organization. I want to share with you a success story from one of them. How many of you know John and Lisa Tolbert? They're National Supervising Coordinators. We love them, right? They've been working through NutraMetrix for a while, but they weren't really embracing NutraMetrix until very, very recently with the webinar system, and I want to tell you why. They're all about duplication. They want to make sure that whatever they're doing in their business is completely duplicatable. And they wrote a note, a thank you note, to our Director of Sales and Field Development, Lauren Sauerbeck, about the webinars that she's been running, the weekly prospecting webinars. I just want to share with you what they said. We would never have gone to great lengths to approach doctors' offices for a 15-minute appointment to explain NutraMetrix, but we did find it very easy to get them on a webinar in their own space and let the experts do the introduction for us. Although health and wellness is our specialty, trying to convince health professionals was not on the top of our list to work on. We preferred the average person. But since the launch of the webinars, it's become a no-brainer to implement the systems and education on everything that's done through those introductory webinars. They hit the NutraMetrix challenge because of the webinars. And all we did, this is them saying this, all they did was recognize a tool, the webinar, and implement it. We were already doing the rest of the business plan. Now our people are finding it easy to approach health professionals or practices with this webinar, and we totally love it. And they wanted to thank Lauren for that. Over the past 2 months, because of webinars, just by inviting people on webinars, 2 new health professionals in their business, 3 new health professionals getting ready to be closed, and 3 new NCs in the funnel. Now, I love that. They can get a clap for that. I want to thank John and Lisa for sending that in. Now, I've asked a couple of people to come up and talk to you about the evolution of NutraMetrix that they've seen in their business. And the first person that I'm going to bring up is somebody that you all know and love very much. We love him. He's been training with us for NutraMetrix now for about the past 3 years, but he's been a distributor with Market America for a very long time, and he's very successful. I'd like to introduce Mr. Phil Guido and have him come on up to the stage. Can you tell them a little bit about how you've seen NutraMetrix grow? Because you've been a NutraMetrix consultant really from the beginning of the program.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely, Brandy. I don't think there's any doubt that the Market America you're seeing today, the Market America of 2012, is a dramatically different company than the Market America of 1992, 93, 94. We've transformed ourselves as a company. And Brandy and her team with all of the enhancements, the overhauls, the upgrades, the retooling of NutraMetrix has transformed NutraMetrix into a completely new program than what we rolled out in 2006, even a very different program than what you may have looked at if you looked at NutraMetrix only a few short years ago. Things like the HP1 program that she mentioned, a dramatic enhancement to NutraMetrix, the enhancements to the AutoShip program, the introduction of the automated patient follow-up system, the Facebook groups that they've developed where Brandy and her team, even the health professionals on her team, answer questions and concerns for the NCs, teach, coach, mentor, and motivate, provide you ongoing training and answers to your questions anytime you want it. And at the same time that they've morphed NutraMetrix into what it is today, we've seen an evolution in the attitudes on the part of health professionals towards these types of programs as more and more of them embrace wellness and weight management solutions. And I believe you're going to see that escalate over the next 3 to 5 years as more and more health professionals see other health professionals experience success with this type of program. They're going to want in, and they're either going to be in your group or someone else's group. Now, the way for you to take advantage of that trend and have that volume and that income producing for you is to have as many NCs as you possibly can in your own organization. Some of you in this room may have looked at NutraMetrix at some time in the past and discounted it as too complex, over your head, too complicated, or whatever. Or you may have even attended the training and then gone out and given it a try and not experienced the type of success you thought you would. Well, the same way that you can't sit home and not attend a convention like this and expect that you know what's going on, the same thing applies to NutraMetrix. A lot of you need to come back and take a fresh look at NutraMetrix. I think your eyes are going to be wide open. The training itself is so incredibly advanced now over what it was just a few short years ago. I used to, years gone by, constantly get calls from people in my group who would say to me, "Hey, I just came back from the NutraMetrix training. I'm so excited. What do I do now?" And I said, something's wrong with this picture. Well, that doesn't happen anymore. The training is so complete, and they've simplified it. We say bigger, better, faster, easier, right? I'll add another word to it. What they've done to NutraMetrix is make it simpler, easier, better, and bigger, and because of that, we're seeing more and more NCs succeed at a higher level today than ever before. If you just have one health professional effectively implement NutraMetrix on your left and one on your right, that legitimately could produce 6 figures to you for the rest of your life. Now imagine what could happen if you had 2, 4, 6, 8, or 10 NCs on the left or right of your organization. It's mind-boggling what could happen. One more quick comment Brandy asked me to make was about international. We're seeing, as we expand our horizons and penetrate international markets, more of you and your teams are talking to and exposing the business model to people in those foreign countries, Mexico, the United Kingdom, and whatnot. And although we don't have a NutraMetrix program per se to offer them, we still have the same great products. And if you know a little bit about how to implement the simple model we have, you can implement the same type of program for them in their country. We even have health professionals from other countries. I have one myself coming from London to New York next month to attend the NC training and then bring it back home and implement there. So keep that on your mind as well. I'm going to give it back to Brandy. My time is up. Thanks for listening.
Thank you very mumuch, Phil.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Now, I will tell you, piggybacking on what he just said, we've had NCs coming from Australia, Taiwan, Hong Kong. These are people, even though we don't have the NutraMetrix program in their home country, they're taking the time to come to the US to get trained as NutraMetrix consultants. They take their knowledge home and implement with the products from their home country, and they're seeing great success. So we will be looking at expanding NutraMetrix internationally at some point, but if you're wondering about working with health professionals now in a country that doesn't have NutraMetrix, know that that is an option for you. I'd also like to bring up Dr. Roger Spar. Dr. Roger Spar is one of the pioneer health professionals of NutraMetrix. In fact, when I went to my very first NutraMetrix training in 2006, he was my instructor. So I asked Dr. Spar to come up and talk about how he's seen NutraMetrix evolve over the past few years.
Hello there. Hi. Let me ask you something. Who here owns a telephone? Okay? Right? Now, who here has a phone that has a screen on it? Did you have a screen on your phone 5 or 10 years ago? No, you didn't. It progressed, didn't it? It changed. It changed, hopefully, for the better. When we started Market America, the NutraMetrix program, there were 4 of us healthcare professionals that got together with Dennis Franks and the rest of the corporate team to create this thought process because we knew there was something that was needed for the healthcare professionals. So we started out. It's kind of like starting out on a trip with in the wilderness with a knife and a horse, and that's like all you got, okay? It's now progressed. We no longer don't have a single horses. We have the internet, we have Facebook, we have webinars, we have so many things to bring knowledge to ourselves, to the healthcare professionals, and to their patients, right? Also your family and friends. So the progression has been one of technology and of knowledge. Now you have Lauren Sauerbeck, you have Brandy Murphy, Dr. Deidre Mason. Many other individuals have stepped forward to educate physicians, you, right, NCs, and they've done it in a beautiful fashion. So, how has it affected my practice? Well, I started out as a primary care doctor. Now I am board certified in anti-aging and regenerative medicine. And one of the things I do is I use a wide variety of product lines in my practice because I take care of the sickest of the sickest. Market America products still are the #1 product that I use in my practice, okay? Because they never disappoint me. I never have to worry about if they're going to work or not. They just do. So one of the things about a product from Market America is that you can always count on its availability to the body, how well it works, and now the system that allows you to get it into the hands of physicians to help their patients, maybe your friends and neighbors or relatives, also works well. So it's one of those things you've got to really look at the whole system. There's a reason that Market America now outsells these other companies that Brandon was talking about. They don't have NCs. They have reps that call on a doctor, but there's no one to let them know how to implement this, how to really put it into the hands of the physicians and then into the hands of their patients, and ultimately to help them with the wellness. And the great thing also is that we appeal to all different kinds of physicians and healthcare professionals all through it. So we help a large number of people, and we apply our principles to huge numbers. And that is kind of the difference.
Thank you very much, Dr. Spar.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's what we did to make it better. Now what are we doing next to make NutraMetrix better, to help your business grow even more? One of the things that we launched, it actually went live last week, just launched it, is a new reorder reminder system for patients, where patients can opt in to receive text message reminders or email reminders when it's time for them to reorder products. I'm going to go through that in detail at the breakout on Saturday night on how it works, but I want you to know that this is just the first step in this reorder reminder system. We're also going to be partnering with businessreceptionist.com, which you'll hear a little bit about later this weekend, to allow health professionals that partner with businessreceptionist.com to have a call center, basically call their patients to reorder, remind them to reorder. And when they are on the phone with them and they say, Jane, it's time for you to reorder your OPC3 bottle, would you like me to process that for you today? They'll be able to process it right on NutraMetrix.com on the staff back office, but it'll be the receptionist that is processing that order. That's going to really increase BV for your business. I'm also going to announce at the breakout on Saturday night the new business model. You'll see from start to finish how we introduce NutraMetrix to health professionals and NutraMetrix Consultants. You're going to learn about a brand new product called red yeast rice extract that's only available in NutraMetrix, and you're going to learn about so much more. Now, before I go, I just want to remind you one other thing. Tanya mentioned to you about an amazing GeneSnip special this morning. And they have the kits here this weekend, and GeneSnip is a huge part of what we do in NutraMetrix because we can customize the wellness program or the products for the patients based on their genetic information. So if you're considering becoming a NutraMetrix consultant or working with health professionals, you need to have your own GeneSnip results so you can talk to them about the value of a customized program. And Marty's put together for you an incredible special. I just want to reiterate it. It's $199.95 distributor cost. With that, you get 50 BV. Look at all the products you get. You get Heart Health Omega-3, you get an OPC3, you get a vitamin D and a multivitamin. If you sell those products, the suggested retail on those products is over $450, right? So you make a great deal of profit by offering that genetic program. And I would highly recommend that you get your own GeneSnip done as well. This special is only available this weekend. The order form is in your packet. You definitely want to consider purchasing. I would actually strongly encourage you to consider purchasing your GeneSnip kit this weekend.